Hi there, and welcome back to History of Fleetwood Mac. I'm Anita. Today we're going to get into part 23 of my LPs, and it looks like we'll be wrapping up with 24 episodes, just like it was with the 45s, which I'm kind of shocked, to be honest. Thought that was kind of funny, and certainly not planned, but here we are at part 23, a bit too large of a pile to go in and make it all one, so splitting it up, and it will then be 24 episodes, which is crazy. I also can't believe I'm rounding out the LPs, and I'm actually still not done because I know that I'm missing pieces here and there, and then I have to get into the box sets. And I actually have a surprising amount more box sets than I thought I did, not just the standard ones. I have the Dolly Parton one, I have 2 Lindsey Buckingham ones, I have 2 Stevie Nicks ones, all the Fleetwood Mac ones, etc. So there'll be definitely some more LP videos coming up. But we're going to start this video with Crystal Visions, which came out in 2007. And I wrote on one of my records 2015 because I know that there was a later release, and I don't think it was exactly a later release. I think it was reissued again in 2015. I know that I have 2015 on the brain somewhere, which is kind of that's what, 8-year difference? Thereabouts. So I'm wrong, because now I can't find anything, but it's odd for me, even though I flub up all the time, it's odd for me to write 2015 on the sleeve. And normally what I write down the sleeve is like everything's in front of me, it's good to go. It's not just like winging it like I do on the videos. So, but we're going to start with what I definitely know is 2007, and let's start with kind of the slip sleeve, or the cellophane, my apologies, and the sticker. And the reason being is because I'll show you some difference with the sticker in a second here. But this is the record in itself. Beautiful cover. I think we all were pretty much elated with this as far as, like, the pictures were concerned. And what I have to say that I really like about the LP is that it's not just the greatest hits or some of the greatest hits, because there's certainly more that could have gone on here. But it was, Silver Springs with Fleetwood Mac, so it wasn't Silver Springs on her own. Dreams with Deep Dish, so it wasn't just the Fleetwood Mac Dreams. Rhiannon Live, so it wasn't just the 1975 or some other choice Rhiannon. Landslide and Edge-of-17 with the Mel Warren Symphony, when she did all those shows in Australia, and she had a symphony. Just astounding, really pretty shows. Planets of the Universe, just, a lot of things were different. Rock and Roll's done live, because she was adding that to her sets and stuff. So it's a different mixture. So we still have the regular hits of Edge-of-17, I Can't Wait, If Anyone Falls, which is a little bit kind of sort of outside the box of the greatest hits. We do have Stand Back, Talk to Me, Rooms on Fire, Planets of the Universe, but it's just slightly a little bit more mixed up, I would say, than we had on Time Space, and that we certainly got plenty on the Enchanted box set. And I think that's why. I think she just really nailed it with Time Space and the Enchanted box set. So by the time we get to this, and then another one I'll show you in 2017, which is at the end of this batch here. So only 10 years later, she had another greatest hits, but we'll go into that in a little bit more detail. This was perfect. This was a good time. And she was able to add on those little additions. Like I said, in Australia parts and Rock and Roll, because there's no recording of that. She was just doing that live. So this was a good time. This was the inside of the album, and this is Worth the Money Alone. Just even this, just stunning. And then inside, one side, because it's a 2 record set, we had the little insert with notes. So much like Enchanted, we have little mini, or Time Space as well, right? We have little mini notes. Pardon me. It's kind of funny because the stories don't change, but little parts that seemed prevalent at the time or kind of tweaked a little bit. So something that you've been like, well, that's a really unique observation of the song or something is now tweaked in a way that you're like, well, wait a minute, well, how serious was it then? Again, it's not change. It's little stupid stuff that unless you're somebody like me who like has all this stuff and really, and I do and don't pay attention to that. I take everything with a grain of salt. People, I can't remember what happened yesterday the same way my boyfriend's going to remember what happened yesterday. So every time we're retelling the story, of course, it's going to elaborate, you're going to elaborate on it. There's going to be a little adjustment here and there, right? I was talking about a video the other day, and every time I talked about how many times it took me to try and make it, the number kept getting bigger and bigger. I was making a joke out of it, but at the same time, things like that happen. So take what you will when you read each one. But if you're bored one day, it's a nice rainy day, get out all your greatest hits and read her little excerpts on each song and tell me if you don't see like these little tweaks on particular things of the song. Just kind of funny. Some really great pictures. I have a really nice one similar to this, an outtake, an original that I really treasure. So that was it. So, and then the highlight of this set is that the vinyl was clear on this one in particular. Really lovely, real pretty. It just goes with Crystal Visions. So, and then it's clear vinyl. So we have that beautiful label, which is her artwork, which I have on a shirt. Then we have some more of her artwork here. And then, like I said, just that beautiful crystal clear. I mean, that's clear vinyl. This, even here, is really, it's pretty cool. And it's cool to have her artwork like that, right? So it came out, and I think, I really wasn't sure. I just put that one first. I wasn't exactly sure which one came out first, the clear or the black vinyl. I think maybe, I don't remember. It seems to me like it was black because then when this one came out, it's like, special crystal clear vinyl. Because everything else, let's see here. The black is 180 gram vinyl, which it does not say on this. Fold this up one more time. So again, we had this one that was on the clear vinyl, and this that's on the black. So you can see the font is a little bit different, very slight. And then on the clear, it is half speed mastered by Stan Ricker, plating and pressing at RTI. And it's all the same here, RTI, Stan Ricker, but this is 180 gram vinyl. Everything about it is the same, except, of course, the vinyl. And again, these are very heavy plates. The clear doesn't feel quite as heavy, so maybe that's not 180 gram on the clear. That could be standard, but just the black one, black vinyl, is 180. So then so again, it was issued later, but on the date, on the back, it still says 2007. This one I've kept sealed, but if you notice, where is it out here? When everything is said and done, right under here it says, so hard to see, I'm so sorry, K1. It's a dumb little nuance, but I think it's just a different pressing plant. But I'm telling you, I think this came out later. Still says 2007 on the back. The sticker is, pretty similar, but it does say K1 on the barcode, and on the back of it, this little number down here, it says K1 next to it, so it has this number, then K1. So I think it's just another pressing from another plant. But I guess what was also so unusual is that I saw it sometime later. Like, you know how it comes in the store and that it goes from the store. I mean, unless we had like Tower Records or, one that's a consistent record store that stays up with current records. So most of the stuff I get like at Walmart or trying to think where else has records. Barnes and Noble, maybe, but still that's kind of online. But at Walmart, which is where I believe I got all these, it was back again some years later. And I found that odd. Like, they don't restock normally. They have what they have. Records do and don't really sell well there, or they'll keep it coming if it's selling well, and then that's it. And they'll move it online. They wouldn't keep it in the store. So some years later, to see it again in a store, stocked full, like when it first came out, indicated to me, that it was a different pressing, it was different everything. So I bought one because I'm like, did I miss something, like a colored vinyl or a different, a special edition? And I came home and there's just that number difference. But like I said, I think it's just different pressing. Me and my, my weird gotta have it all kind of thing. Next up, we have Lindsey Buckingham's. The next two things of Lindsey's are hard to come by on vinyl now. I think I was entering them into Discogs, and I think each record is like a couple $100 now. It pretty much, if you didn't get it when it came out, you're going to be hard pressed to find it, unless you're willing to spend the money. Me, it was just a no-brainer to go in and get these. So, I got them right when they came out. And I'm very glad I did for, that reason. And, so Gift of Screws. Inside, this little sleeve with some artwork. Gift of Screws, and I talk about this with the CD. We were very blessed to have, what was it, 2006 for Under the Skin, 5 or 6, 2008 for Gift of Screws, and 2013 for Seeds We Sow. And, for us, for any Fleetwood Mac member, that's kind of consecutive. That's pretty, pretty quick. And then the tours in between. So it just seemed like there was really a long consistency of Lindsey for a while. And Gift of Screws kind of fell in the holes for me. I love this album. I know that it's definitely a fan favorite, but I find myself listening to its bookends often more than I do this. And when I see this, I'm like, I gotta listen to this because I do really like it. Did You Miss Me was a great song. Bel Air Rain is a great song. Treason is a great song. But I just, like I said, I find that I gravitate more towards Under the Skin. Absolutely the first choice to me, Seeds We Sow, and then Gift of Screws. But it's funny because Gift of Screws was in the making the longest, it seems. It was this album he kept supposedly putting off and putting off and putting off. So, when this finally came to light, which I guess, again, I think is why it's such a fan favorite, is because, well, it's about damn time. So, it's one of those ones, like I said, I don't listen to as often as the other ones. I guess they had the little sticker on it, and I think that this one had the CD with it too. When you purchased it, it came with the CD, which I bring up with when I'm showing my CDs. So then we have Lindsey's 2000. What did I just say it was? 2013. This is the hype sticker, cost of it, no big deal. The saran wrap that came on it, I did that, so I took it out. You'll see in other videos. I'll keep it in the wrap like that, take the records out, and then also put it in a sleeve, which I'm just reiterating because it's a funny, just like I said, yet another little quirk. But I took all the stuff off in advance to be able to show you. This is the back. Again, song choices are Seeds We Sow, In Our Own Time, Rockaway Blind, Stars Are Crazy, beautiful. yeah, this is, again, just, I really like this album. And where's the insert on that one? Nope, I guess there isn't on that one. But what is really nice, and again, I forget this until I pull it out, is how beautiful this vinyl is. And I don't think there's any other recording or any other vinyl. I think this just came out on vinyl, happened to be on colored vinyl, and that's it. Just, I've yet to see anything else on black or anything else. It's back on Black Rock Classics, which the sticker said on the cover, but that's how I got it. Like, when it went on pre-sale, let me know. When it went on pre-sale, like probably on a site, did it say black vinyl or red vinyl, or were there options? Are there more choices in this? Because I still don't even see anything on Discogs. I just see this one. So, but yeah, 2 record set, both red vinyl. I try not to play it too much because it's just so pretty, and I just want to keep it as nice as possible. But really, really pretty color. Cherry red. So moving more into 2013, it's very strange little a little pickup. I have a CD. When you go through my CDs, I have this CD going back quite a while, but I guess they issued this LP in 2013. But I know that I have the CD from like 2006 or something like that. This is a Royal Philharmonic Orchestra plays Fleetwood Mac Rumors. It's nice. Kind of a different sound, obviously. An orchestra playing Fleetwood Mac. Not really much inside, just the who they are. Then all the credits and such of the songs. Recorded at Abbey Road Studio, where people can put that together with Abbey Road, Stevie's Street Angel. It's pretty. It's an orchestra playing it. It's just really nice. Again, subtle, background. You want to hear Rumors differently. You want to hear, you want to make it, again, just nice background music. That's really what this is really nice for. It's just nice, soft background sound. You'll catch yourself humming to it, but it's very different because it's an orchestra doing it, not just like, an instrumental or something like that. So, I think it's worth it. Yeah, this came out in 2015, or the sticker says 2015, but on the back it says 2013, and I'm confident I have the CD that I got like in 2006, so kind of weird. This was a real fun, this is a great story. Sound City, to the autograph there. So I grew up, I was never really one to be the teen beat, probably the most I got into anybody was like Duran Duran, but I still didn't have them like plastered all over the walls. I did have a lot of their music, though. I went and bought the 45s, I went and bought the records, everything like that. And I probably had some stuff up, but I wasn't really big into like, and Kiss, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's fine. I had Stevie up, so I don't know, maybe people thought that's, I was doing that to Stevie Nicks. No. And that's also fine if you were doing that yourself, but I just didn't. I'm just into the music. I just didn't go through the whole teen crush boy phase of rock bands like Menudos and Duran Durans, and in the 90s, New Kids on the Block and all that stuff. And one person I just never particularly cared for, I liked his music, okay, but was Rick Springfield. Now, I know that he was on, so I don't even remember which soap opera, but that's what it was too, is that so many people loved him from soap opera, and I liked his music and I liked his videos, but I was not into soap operas. any of that stuff ever. And so when people would bring him up and they're like, oh, he's so cute, he's in the tabloids all the time, he's on the, it was just, that's just not my jam. It never was, you know? So my friend took me to see him like in 2000, gosh, I don't know, 2002, 2003. And I was blown away. Hell of a guy, hell of a performer, seemed, you know, just seemed really cool. But the performance, I was just really, really impressed. And, you know, I didn't feel like, oh my God, what was I missing out on? Because I liked his music. Like I said, I liked his videos, but I just wasn't into the whole boy band and, you know, and teen hottie and all that kind of stuff. But when I saw him, I could see why all the girls were like losing their freaking mind when he, you know, came out and smashing flowers on the guitar. And I've seen him several times since. Well, this record came out. You'll see in the video that I won a CD copy, pardon me, of this release. But when there was a book signing in Portland, and it was going to be Rick Springfield was going to be there on one of his new books, and I was fortunate to be able to go there and meet him. And he stayed and signed stuff afterwards, but I took this because it had just come out, and I was dying over his part in the film and going on about Rick Springfield and this and that. So I bring it up to him. It's my turn, and he's just so nice, just such a super outgoing person, and so nice. And he's like, "What is this?" And I said, "Well, it's the record for, you know." And he's like, "Whoa!" And he just takes it. I have pictures, and he's just going over it, and I have like this and like this, and like, you know, he's pulling stuff out. And so as I'm talking to him, I'm like, yeah, it came on a vinyl. Like, dude, like, how do you not know, you know, where your music goes? Like, what's wrong with you? And he's signing it and stuff. And I said, you want to see something really cool? He's like, yeah. And so I took out the slip on the inside and I said, let's see here, which one is it? Oh, here's the picture of Stevie, which is great. And I tell him what a huge Stevie Nicks fan I am, and that it's so cool that it was him, you know, her, just so many great names, just so much talent. And, you know, what a great story it was, the console, everything just about this movie, and everything is fantastic. Where's my... Sorry. Am I losing my mind here? Yes, I am. It was out already. So I tell him, I take it out, and I said that his picture is on the same page as Paul McCartney, because he was going bonkers, and he lost his mind. He could not get over this record enough, the fact that it was on the record, so he signed it on the inside for me as well, on his photo, and he's like showing to people and stuff like that. It was super cute moment. You know, when I asked for a picture, he like put his arm around me, like pulled me in, just so nice. I mean, I really left there kind of feeling like, you know, the girls did probably in the 80s, and they're like, oh God, he's so cute. Because he's just, you know, personal, but that's what I like more. You know, yes, he's attractive, duh, but I like the personality, and I like the music, and I like to talk to people about their music, and, you know, so not everything is just based on that. Yes, he's cute, but I'm not going there because I want to throw my underwear at the stage. I'm going there because you're freaking phenomenal, and I, you know, want to give you your credits and, you know, accolades and all that kind of stuff. So it was a super nice meeting, and like I said, he you know, I almost, if I had had another copy, I would have left the record with him, because he was just super impressed that this was out on vinyl. And I find that funny. I've taken things to Mick Fleetwood when I met him several times, and I'll show him a photo that I have because I have an extensive collection. He's like, I've never seen this before. And I'm like, dude, pretty sure you have. Pretty sure you were there. I'm pretty, you know, maybe not the finished product, but, you know, definitely the moment. He's like, I don't remember doing this. And I'm like, well, you know, that, you know, that could be, you know, there's several reasons that could be the case, but, you know, not knowing that, you know, you're an item that you were a part of came out on on CD and vinyl or something like that. I guess I'm just a little surprised. So well, that was my story for the Sound City. And of course, if I were to meet anybody else who's on this thing, it would be fun to have that continuously signed by people. I think that'd be pretty neat. So far, there's been nobody else. That's funny. I think I would remember if there had been, but yeah, probably nobody else that I'll even get to ever meet. I mean, Taylor's gone, so I'll never get that signature, unfortunately. Dave Grohl, probably, yeah. Paul McCartney, I'll never meet. Yeah, it'd be cool. There'd be some other really cool signatures to get on this, but his is just, if if that's all I ever get, that's okay, because that was a really fun moment. So 2014, we're moving on to 24 karat gold. I can't talk about this enough. First of all, we have demos that we have been listening to for years, and here we have it like gifted to us with a bow on it, not feeling bad that we had it on the internet or that we were on trade rings, or some of us who didn't know better maybe bought them off of eBay. We have these releases as Stevie wants them released, and it's a godsend. And plus, she is adorning, is that the right word, everything with vintage photos. So we just have like all this gorgeous stuff that we, some of us have seen, some of us haven't. If you have the booklet that comes with this CD copy, just so much. And it's just, I about lost my mind when this came out. Keep my stickers. Who needs help? I do. This is the packing slip for the love of God that I got. But I think it was, nope, it's just the packing slip for the record. I thought, okay, well, that makes sense. Maybe it still does make sense, because there's posters that came out with this too, if you pre-ordered 2 posters. And in order to get both posters, or make sure you got both posters, you had to pre-order 2 orders. So I probably did 1 order with the record and 1 order that was the CD thing or something, more than likely. But inside we also have the one-off little lyric sheet. I like this picture. Do we have anything else in this one now? You'll notice that that's a outtake. This is an original that I put up recently. It's always been in frame. I brought it out in the open for people to see. But yeah, that's pretty, I've always been really fond of that. So when this came out and I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, I have the original, I should say. No joke. There's a whole bunch of stuff about it on the back, and when I get to the pictures, I'll talk about it. But it was just really neat to have, something that went with it, something to see more of it. And on this one though, you'll see this here is the cord that she's holding to do the selfie, the little, on the old camera for the Polaroid. And you can't see any of that kind of stuff on this, but it's kind of cool. So yeah, but all the pictures that are in here are just crazy beautiful. And all the songs. I don't know, what was your favorite when it came out? Did you lose your mind? I mean, I know I'm catering here to a lot of, I speak to the camera and you, by you I mean the camera and the people who are kind enough to watch me, as kind of seasoned veterans like myself. So I know a lot of us were just, like I said, losing our minds. But this came out in, what did I say, 2000, did I just say 14? So for many of you, it could be that this came out when you were young and just getting into Stevie Nicks, and you did not know about all this stuff. So did you have any impressions, or are you kind of a casual fan and you got this and you were hearing these things for the first time? Did anything stick out for you? I know that personally, the dealer has been a big favorite of mine. Was not the most crazy about this version, but I love that song. That was definitely one of my top 3 favorite demos ever. But then we had All the Beautiful Worlds and Belle Fleur. I mean, you just couldn't. Cat House Blues, I always thought that was really interesting that she did that. And when I talk later about the box sets and the stuff that's on that, when I brought out Belladonna, I brought out the uncirculated rumors, and I kind of talked about that. I'll go into more detail about that box set and the songs on it, because that's where I first heard Cat House Blues, and I thought, my God, what a totally different sound for Stevie, as was Goldfish and Ladybug and such, which isn't on here. But, having added stuff like that was just so cool. Just, and Starshine, I really like that. I think she took it in a completely different way. Lady, I was not expecting. Hard Advice, I was not expecting. Carousel, I was not expecting. Yeah, so this was just filled with glory. This was just an absolute, the most gifted thing I think that she's given fans in my age bracket, if you will. Everything she gives us is a gift, but there's a particular sentimental feeling about this. If you were a demo fan or aware of the demos, to receive this again with all the pictures and just the re-recordings, it was very special. I'll stop going on about that, or else I won't stop. Vinyl, not nothing really super special, just black vinyl. To my knowledge, the only way it came out was on black vinyl. There's been no reissue. I think there eventually will. I think I'll bring it up for the 100th time. I'm really desperate for Rhino Records to redo Rock a Little, Other Side of the Mirror, and Street Angel as a deluxe, package box set, whatever you want to do. But yeah, I think at some point they will do this. So this is just kind of a little insert thing in here. This lady is Refried Mac. She has Rez. That's the name. R-E-S. Res. And I'd heard about this, but I had seen nothing about it. But this came out on Record Store Day in 2015, and she does. I didn't see where the songs are on this. I've forgotten where the. I haven't played this in so long. See, oh no. Uh-oh. That's not good. Maybe I want to rehouse this, huh? Eek. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to redo that. She does Rhiannon, Dreams, The Chain, Little Lies, and Edge of 17. But I don't know if she does that anymore. Because, Or, oh, you know what? Maybe everything's on the front, and that's why. Because I feel the paint. Yeah, there's no way your needle would go on that. That makes a little bit more sense. But I think I'll put this back in paper sleeves before I put it back in there. She has a nice voice. It's nice. It's cute. Rez offers her take on classic Fleetwood Mac songs for the special pressing of Refried Mac on a limited edition silk screen piece of vinyl, made specially available for Record Store Day 2015. Yeah, just again, a little offset thing. Going into 2017, we have this one is sealed, so I'll kind of make that quick and just show this one. We have the Lindsey Buckingham, Christine McVie venture. I'm grateful to have this one signed. I have, I think, 2 copies of CDs signed by them, and the CDs are signed in gold, so it's a little bit clearer. I mean, here in the light with this, you can see Christine, but otherwise, it's kind of hard to make out Lindsay. The back here. And again, this is a glorious record. This is just a fun, we have the time, we have the energy, let's do this. And, a lot of people were upset. There's just it was a weird time. A lot of people thought that it was a personal thing against Stevie, that, if he was going to go back in the studio, he should have done like, Buckingham Nicks again. And they have a very different working relationship. They've been friends all these years, and the highest point of this whole thing, of this whole outing, and if you take one thing from this record, is the fact that thank goodness we got something a little bit more out of Christine before she passed away. And that's really what I take away from it, because it's adorable, and I'm glad that we have these extra little songs, because they're all little pieces of her, and Lindsay too. Don't misunderstand, but there's just a lot of charm to this album, and the tour was fantastic. It was just a lot of fun. So I really, you just can't go wrong. It's pure pop. I mean, there's nothing. It's not rocket science. It's not a throwaway album either. It's super poppy, but every time you put it on, you'll just smile. It's just, you've got a nice smile on your face. So there's that one. We're almost done here. I'm going to wrap it up with almost. The Stevie Nicks. This was a selection of another greatest hits thing that she did. This was 20. What was it? Her career all the way up until, I guess, 81 to 2017. That's what it was. 1981 to 2017 at the time. What's really cool about this release, and I get a little bit more into it with the CD, but I'll get back to it again when I do the box sets. This collection, not this one, but the larger collection, really brought out a bunch of stuff that was like coming out. She done duets with Lana Del Rey, not Jewel, Lady Antebellum, with Leanne Rimes. She had done a bunch of stuff, and it's kind of hard to track all that down and keep track of it. And a lot of those things are on the larger box set. And it was nice to have that because, again, like I said, it was, so much is coming out that it's like, I'll always get it or pick it up when I can, or if I happen to be at the record store, had the money and was there like within a day or two or the week it was released. But what was really nice about not only just getting another collection, which we kind of didn't need, but it was really inclusive of a lot of new stuff she'd done with other people. So it really pulled in a lot of different stuff. This one actually has nothing, but it did have the Dealer and Lady, both from the 24 karat gold. It has Long Way to Go. Maybe Love Will Change Your Mind, so that was really cool. So this one is sealed, but this is a 2 record set that was a Walmart exclusive, and it is the only way to get it, to my knowledge, was through Walmart. And yeah, 2019 release. I said 2017. Sorry, 2019. But I think at the time it said, put the box set back away, but I was pretty sure that the box set 81 through 17, but I could be wrong. So yeah, so this one's kind of cool. So can't open this one for you, but yeah, pretty neat. And lastly, we're going to wrap it up real quick, super quick, with just a record that came. I'll talk about this with CDs as well. There is a couple magazines that come out. They're like Classic Legends or American, something like that. And they always have weird records you can order inside. They're bootlegs in essence. This one has a lot of different, it's a hodgepodge of live show cuts from other bootlegs. The sound quality is hit and miss. This one came out in 2019. It's just got a paper sleeve inside. There's nothing on the inside. So just a cool little thing, but just, I hate to say kind of a throwaway because I went and bought it and I went and paid for it. But by that, I just mean, it's not really it's nothing I would go out and run out and get. It's just, I was able to, I ordered it and, oh, but it is on clear vinyl. Forgot about that. But yeah, no insert, no nothing like that. So, and at least they did actually put a picture with them here. So that's something. So that'll wrap that up. And next up, we have 2019 through 2024. So that'll be coming up pretty soon. Thank you again so much for joining me and have a great night. We'll see you next time. Bye.